Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. In today's episode I'm going to be talking through what I'm taking with me to the hospital when I have my baby. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Storm and I am a first-time mommy expecting a little boy in 10 days time. I am planning on having a C-section because of some complications that I've had during my pregnancy, and so because of that my hospital bag is going to be a little bit different to the other videos out there for ladies having vaginal deliveries. So as I said, my baby is coming in 10 days time, which is when his C-section is scheduled. However, we all know that babies decide to come whenever they actually want to. So because of that, I wanted to make sure that my hospital bag is prepped and ready in case he decides to come earlier. And then my fiance has everything in one place, ready to go, like a go bag, and everything is ready and waiting inside. So let's have a look at what's going on in there. Also, just a little bit about me is I am actually a women's health and pediatric physiotherapist. So I am quite familiar with treating postpartum women. I usually treat moms that have had C-sections from day 2 to help get them up and moving, and to do scar management and nipple care and that sort of stuff. So a lot of things that I've included in my hospital bag are things that I encourage my moms to take or my moms to use. So for anybody having a C-section, for first-time mommies, I hope that the stuff that I talk about in here helps you a little bit so that you also know what to pack. In South Africa, when you have a C-section, then you usually stay in hospital for about 2 nights. So it's the day of and then 2 extra days after that, with the 2 nights in between. So I've obviously got to pack a little bit more clothes than the ladies that are in and out for the natural deliveries. Also, my partner works full-time, so unfortunately he won't be rooming in with me. He'll be there as much as he can, but we have a blended family. So because of that, he will have to come home and sort out the animals and the things that need to be sorted out at home. And he has a full-time job, so he will be with me as much as he can and managing the home and trying to run a business. So there will be times in the day that I'm by myself, and therefore I've packed quite a lot of extra things because I can't expect him to go back and forward if there's things that I've left behind and need him to bring me. I also live about an hour away from the hospital with no traffic. So I've tried to make sure that everything that I think I need is in my bag, and might be a little bit over the top, but I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Starting on top of the bag, that obviously was never going to fit into my bag, is my trusty footstool. Now this is an invaluable piece of equipment in that it helps get your hip position and your gut position and your bowel position right for when you want to go have a number 2, which after natural delivery and after C-sections, when you cannot recruit your tummy muscles, you want to make sure that going to the toilet is as easy as possible. And this helps facilitate that by getting your feet up, which raises your knees higher than your hips, and it gets you into a modified squatting position, which is actually the correct position to be in to go to the toilet. So I encourage my Caesar mommies to have a footstool, and if they can't have a footstool, then just anything that will raise their feet, like a bag or something like that. But because I know what I'm expecting, I'm packing my footstool. Definitely not leaving home without this. And the second thing that you see here on top of my bag is my breastfeeding pillow. So I plan on breastfeeding. Being a first-time mom, but also working in the field, I understand that breastfeeding is not something that just happens naturally overnight. It would be wonderful if that was the case, but it takes a little bit of practice and getting used to, and I'm just packing all the things that I could possibly take with me to try and help me on my breastfeeding journey. So this is a really cool pillow. I actually don't know what make of pillow it is. I got it off of Facebook Marketplace from a very nice lady, But what it does is it has different heights. You can change the height. So you put this on your lap in front of you, and then depending on how high you need it to be for baby, then you place baby on top of it, and then that's your support for breastfeeding. So a really, really cool pillow to take with, and quite excited to use it. And those two things didn't go in the bag, but they are going with on top of the bag. Now let's have a look at what we've got in the bag. Alright, so starting off, very, very important, I have a folder, a little envelope, that has got all of the necessary paperwork for the hospital. So this is my consent form and my procedure form. It's got all of my medical aid details, and I will also put mine and my fiance's IDs and medical aid details into this for when we go into the hospital. Always got to have the paperwork. So having that in one place is nice, because then I know that I have everything with me, and should there be an emergency situation, it's not a scramble to find everything on the last minute. So there's all my paperwork in one place. Then I've kind of packed sort of according to categories. So I've packed for me, obviously. I've packed for my baby. His name's Roman. So I've packed for Roman and all the things that he could need. And then I've packed electronics. And lastly, I've packed just general room stuff. So if I talk about what I'm packing for myself first, we'll start off with toiletry bag. It's very basic stuff, the usual toothbrush, toothpaste, face cloth. I plan on being there for 3 days, but I'm not going to be washing my hair. Luckily for me, I will not be sweating that much because I'm not going to be pushing a baby out. So I'm hoping to get away with washing my hair the day of the C-section and then only washing it again when I get home. So I haven't worried about shampoo or anything like that, but I will need a hairbrush. And I've packed in a fragrance-free soap so that I don't smell like strong perfume or fragrance, because it's very important for baby to smell me personally. So this is just a plain glycerine soap. It's got no fragrance, it's got no color, and it will not leave a smell on me but still keep me clean. I've got my shower cap because, as I say, I don't plan on washing my hair, and I have got incredibly curly hair. So if my hair gets wet after I've had it done, then it's going to frizz, and I don't really want that in the hospital. I've got some face cloths, all dark colored, because, you know, the postpartum period's not the most glamorous, and there's blood and all sorts of things that are going to be, those are the fluids that are going to be present, and so I just like to keep everything dark so that there's no staining. I have got my prenatal vitamins, because I obviously need to keep taking those after baby's born so that my body stays well supplemented and healthy. I've got my deodorants, also fragrance free, just so that I can stay nice and fresh in hospital, because I don't want to be manky for my baby. And then I've got some Movicol as well. So usually the doctors need to prescribe medication, but I know that I'm going to struggle with my stomach afterwards because of having a C-section, because of the medication, because of being immobile for a while after I had the epidural and all of that. So I am taking my Movicol. I will obviously clear it with my doctor beforehand, but because I've worked with him in hospital, I know that Movicol is considered okay for me to take. Please, if you're going to take some kind of stool softener for you, just clear it with your doctor first. And then the last thing that's in my toiletry bag is some nipple cream. So this is pure lanolin nipple cream. It's from Lansino, and it is a really cool cream that you put on your nipples to help stop them from getting cracked and raw when you are learning to breastfeed. And the nice thing with this is it's 100% natural, and you don't need to take it off. You don't need to wipe it off in order for baby to feed. So very nice stuff. I've obviously never used it before, but I encourage my mommies to use it. So that is what's in my toiletry bag. Really very standard stuff, not all that exciting, but necessary nonetheless. Okay, I've also just got some vitamin C and some magnesium, also just supplements that I've been taking as part of my prenatal regime. Okay, then, because I'm staying in for 2 nights and 3 days, I'll obviously go to hospital in a pair of clothes that I will have from home. So I technically only need 2 packs of clothing for day 2 and day 3. But I am a little bit anal when it comes to being over prepared, so I've packed a 3rd bag just in case something goes wrong. Again, there can be a poo-splosion from baby, or bleeding, or leaking breasts, or whatever the case is, and I just want to have an extra change of clothes so that I'm not feeling uncomfortable in the hospital where I cannot get to washing my clothes. So my cousin, who had a baby last year, gave me this very cool idea of how to pack my clothes. So what I've done is I've separated all my clothes into days, or what I will need in the day, and then I've put it into an individual bag. So if my fiance is there with me, or if my mom is there with me, or whichever, the nurse, and I need to get something out of the bag and I can't get out of the bed because I've just had the C-section, I can tell them just go and find a plastic bag, and I know that everything I need for the day will be in there. So if we just have a look at what I've packed, this is one of the spare bags. Let's look at this one. It's summer in South Africa and it is insanely hot. I'm filming this at 10 o'clock in the morning and it's about 30 degrees. So I've decided I'm just packing in dresses. Plus I don't want to have pants that are pushing on my stomach where I've got a cut, a fresh cut. So I've got a whole lot of very cute summer dresses that I got from Pick n Pay clothing. And that's just that I'm nice and cool in the day, and so that there's no pressure on my tummy. So each bag comes with a maternity bra, a nursing bra. So that's one of those that clip off to make access to the breast a bit easier. Those are very nice bras. I got them from Woolies. I've packed in those very, very attractive mesh panties. I've actually heard that they're really comfortable, so as ugly as what they are, I'm hoping that they are very comfortable like all the ladies are telling me. And then I have packed in my little summer dress, as I said, for every day. And then for the night, I've packed in just a plain sleepy nightie and socks. So it doesn't matter how hot it is, I don't like sleeping without socks on, so every day I've got to pack a spare pair of socks. And then all of that goes into one bag, ready and waiting for me to use. And then at the end of the day, what's really nice is when I take the clothes off, I can put them into this bag as well, and then it becomes like a dirty bag. But it doesn't allow the dirty clothes to come into contact with the rest of my suitcase. So a very, very nice hack. And that's what's so nice about having like a mom community, is that you get all these cool ideas that you would never have thought of to make your life easier. So that is what each day's bag looks like, and as I said, I've got 3 of them for day 2 and day 3, and then just a spare in case I need it. So if I take those out, all of my clothes, there we go. Then I also packed in a dark towel for me. I know that the hospital supply towels, but I work in the hospital and I know that sometimes you cannot get a whole bunch of towels because they're in the wash or whatever the case is. So I've still just packed in my own towel just in case I need it. And again, it's dark for in case there's a blood stain or some kind of dark mess that I don't want to stain any light colors with. So just a spare towel for me. And then I didn't pack in cream for myself. I've packed in this natural aqueous cream for baby, which I'm actually planning on using as a soap. So you can mix this in water, you know, like put a teaspoon or something in the water, or you can smear it on baby and then wipe it off, and then it acts as a soap, but it's obviously completely chemical free, also scent free, and it's good for the environment, it's eco-friendly and all that sort of stuff. So if my skin's a bit dry, I'm just going to steal some of baby's cream. I don't actually plan on bathing baby while I'm there. I'd like to have him, you know, have the vernix and all of that on for a couple of days, hopefully until I go home. But if for whatever reason, if he has to have a bath before he goes home, then at least we've got some nice chemical free stuff, so we're not introducing any fragrances or harsh chemicals or anything like that on that very newborn skin. Then I have also packed in a gown. So this is just a nice light summery gown, wraparound one that I can open in the front. This will be very nice for if I want to breastfeed or if I want to do skin to skin. So I can put this on and not have anything underneath it, and then baby's got access to boobs and skin as and when he feels like it. If I do feel like putting clothes on underneath it, well then this will just act as a normal gown. And then I have packed in a new pair of slippers. Bought myself a very cute pair of soft padded slippers just for some comfort. But I've packed this bag so well now, I don't even know where I packed them. Ah, there they are. Also everything from Pick n Pay. And then I will be packing in a pair of slops, just because they're easy to get on and off. There's no buckles or laces or any of those things that I need to worry about bending over to put on, because that won't be fun with a fresh wound on my stomach. What's also nice about the cheap slops that you can wear is that they can get wet. So if I feel like having a shower and don't want to stand on the floor with my bare feet, then I'll just use the slops that I am going to pack in. I haven't got them with me right now because I still plan on wearing them for the next couple of days just because it's so hot. But they will most likely be on my feet when I go to the hospital. And I think, oh no, for me as well, I thought that was the end of what I packed in for me, but the last thing that I've packed in for me is these reusable breast pads. So it takes about 3 or so days for the milk to come in, but again, you know, that's a ballpark figure. Physiology is very unpredictable, and I don't want to be leaking all over my shirts or my pajamas and staining my bras and stuff like that. So I have these breast pads. I got them from Clicks, I think, and they're actually really nice because they're reusable. So I'm very keen on the recyclable, reusable, eco-friendly type things. I don't like making lots of waste, so these are perfect for what I am looking for. And I have 8 in here, so that should be enough to last for the day. If I need to wash them there, I'm sure they'll dry pretty quickly. Otherwise, I'll bring them home to wash. And then with that being said, what I've brought with me for all of my stuff that will be wet and I don't want to come into contact with the rest of my bag is actually part of my cloth nappy goodies. It is a wet bag. So I got this from Biddykins. And basically it's got like a waterproofing material on the inside, so that, you know, whatever is wet or damp and goes in there won't spill out and be in contact with everything else in my bag. So I'm very excited to finally get to use that. I have an entire cloth nappy collection, but I will only be cloth nappying from the time that I come home, just because I don't feel like being overwhelmed with trying to get used to having baby and breastfeeding and moving around with a cut and then still trying to cloth nappy, because it's a little bit of a learning curve, and I just want to be a bit more gentle with myself while I'm in hospital. I'll give myself all the added extra learning curves when I come home. So that is that for me. So kind of the same principle with my clothes. I have packed his clothes for every day into his own separate bag. So I'm a first time mom. I have absolutely no idea how many changes of clothes babies go through in the day. So I've packed in about 6 outfits per day. I've packed in 2 vests and a long sleeve baby grow and a short sleeve baby grow, and just spares of those. And then I've packed in socks as well and a little beanie just because it's so cute. I doubt that he will end up wearing a beanie because it is so hot, as I say, but our summer months are also our rainy months, so we could have a downpour which might change the temperature to cold when we leave. So again, rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I've packed 3 days worth of clothes for him. Obviously the day he's born, day 2 and day 3 when we'll be going home. So that's his stash of stuff to wear at least. I've also packed in some sleep sacks. So I've got 2 sleep sacks because he will be there for 2 nights with me. And I just think these are so gorgeous. I can't wait to see what he looks like in them. I also got all of these from a lady on Marketplace. So it was quite a bargain for me. So I've got 2 for each night that he's there. Then, like I said, I am only cloth napping from the time I get home, so I have brought disposable nappies. I know that a lot of hospitals do provide nappies for the babies, but I'm actually not sure what the hospitals give the moms. I mean, I work there, but I don't ask the moms what they get given in their hospital bag. So I have packed in my own just in case. I've got these size 0 nappies, and they come 25 in a pack. And when I did my antenatal class, they taught us that the baby's going to need about 10 to 12 a day, and I didn't want to just have the 25 pack, so I bought 2 packs of nappies to make sure that I have enough for while he's there. And obviously with nappies come wet wipes. Again, at home I'll be using my own homemade reusable wet wipes with my own homemade solution, but just for ease and for convenience for me and for the people that are going to be helping me, I've packed in some pure aqua baby wipes. Then, as with the clothing, I've packed in a whole bunch of blankets because I don't know how much the baby's going to need, and also I don't know how messy the baby's going to be. There could be vomits, there could be spit ups, there could be poos, there could be all sorts of things that make the blankets dirty, and I don't want to run out. So I've brought 2 receiving blankets and 2 cellular blankets, and then 1 fluffy blanket again for if it's cold. Doubt I'm going to use it, but it just feels so nice, so I decided to pack it in as well. Then I have packed in a grooming kit for Roman. That's just got the nail stuff in it, like the scissors and the clippers and all that sort of thing. Because I know that those babies sometimes come out with razor sharp nails and then end up scratching their faces and that kind of stuff. And I'm not particularly keen on using mittens just because, you know, babies are... They use their hands to soothe themselves, and also with breastfeeding they use their hands to touch mom and to like figure out where they are. So I don't want to be putting a mitten over their hands and take away that sort of feedback. I'd much rather just file a nail down, or perhaps clip, you know, the tip of the nail if there is a sharp point. So that's going with. And then just as an added nice extra, I've bought a letter board with the letters, and that is going to be what I use as my announcement. So cute for taking pictures and that kind of stuff. Then I've also got a whole bunch of stuff for breastfeeding, for bottle feeding, just in case my breastfeeding journey doesn't go off smoothly. Like I said, it is a bit of a learning curve, and it's something that moms need to get used to, and it's something that babies also need to get used to. So as much as I'd love for baby to be born and immediately latch and for there to be no hiccups along the way, I'm also aware that might not go as planned. So because of that, I have bought stuff for formula feeding in case I have to resort to doing that. And I've also brought with me some pumps. I will be seeing a lactation consultant on the last day for her to just give me some pointers on, how to feed and make sure that the latch and everything is good. And it's nice that I have all of the equipment with me, so she can literally talk me through how to use everything and if they're the right fits and that kind of stuff. So I have my bottles. This is a silicone bottle, which is really nice because I'm very much aware of plastics and BPAs and all those sorts of things, and I'm trying to avoid them as much as possible. So I've got this very cool silicone bottle. It's got the teat on it is specifically designed for, I don't know if you can see that, for interchanging between breastfeeding and bottle feeding, and for there not to be nipple confusion. I understand that like nipple confusion is not really a thing, but it does resemble the shape of a nipple much better than other teats, so I'm excited for this bottle. Then I've also got just this little one that attaches to the breast pump that I have. It's a Tommy Tippy breast pump, electric one, and this is a BPA free bottle, so they clip onto each other and then obviously onto the breast, and then I can pump from there should I need to, just to help milk come in, or if baby is being formula fed temporarily as a supplement, then I can still be pumping just to encourage the removal of breast milk, because breastfeeding is a dance between demand and supply. So I need to still be pumping even if baby is formula feeding. And then I've got the silicone breast pump, and all of the moms groups that I've been on absolutely rave about it. I don't actually know how it works per se. I understand it's to catch letdown or perhaps to collect colostrum, but I thought that this was a really good thing to have, just based on suggestions from other parents. So if I don't know how it works, this is definitely something I'm going to ask the lactation consultant to advise me on how to use it, but that is coming with me. So these are all my breastfeeding aids and supplies. And then in here, I have also brought with me some dummies. So I want Roman to get used to using a dummy or a pacifier, whatever you want to call it, because there is research that shows that using a dummy helps decrease the risk of SIDS. And obviously, who doesn't want to decrease the risk of SIDS when you have a baby? So I've got a couple of dummies with different shapes, because I know that babies are also particular with the shapes of dummies. So I have a few, and hopefully he likes one of them. But I definitely want him to get used to dummies from the get-go. And that is everything that I have for breastfeeding. Okay, then if we are moving on to the electronics that I brought with, this is a Bluetooth speaker, which I think will be very nice for white noise in the room. So the rooms tend to be quite busy with nurses coming in and out and the doctors coming in and out and that kind of stuff, which can be very disruptive to a baby. So I've decided to bring with a Bluetooth speaker so that I can play white noise from my phone. So hopefully then that will just calm baby a little bit, and they won't hear all of the sounds of all the people coming in and out, and it won't be so disruptive. This is also nice if I want to play music, soft soothing music for myself, if I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed or whatever the case is. So very nice little added extra to have. I have brought with me an extension lead. Again, because I'm having a C-section and I'm not going to be having somebody in the room with me permanently, this is a very nice thing to have so that I can plug it into whatever plug point I've got, and then just have it as close to my bed as possible, so that I don't need to be stretching in all different directions to try and reach things, I can have everything within arm's length, which will be very kind to my stomach and my new cut. Then with the extension lead, I've got a multi-plug with all the different adapters, just because my charger for my phone and for the router and for the speakers and all of that have got all different adapter parts, whatever you call it. I've brought this with so that everything can go onto this, and I don't need to bring a whole bunch. Then what I will have from an electronic perspective that's not in here but rather in my handbag is obviously like my cell phone, because you won't go anywhere without a cell phone, and my router for Wi-Fi, and then I've got my chargers for all of those things, and I've also got my earpods for if for whatever reason I'm in the room with somebody else. I'm hoping to get a private room, but if I don't and I end up in a room with somebody else, then at least I can still listen to my own soothing music should I need it, and I don't have privacy, or if I want to listen to it late at night and I don't want to disrupt anybody. And then, so this is another one of the physio gadgets that I'll be bringing with me. It is a laser machine. So this is what I use in my practice on my ladies. It is such a nifty thing. It helps with tissue repair. So I use it for nipples, so cracked nipples and painful red raw nipples. But then it's also really nice to use on the cut itself. And you can laser over all of the bandage and plaster and all of that, and it will still penetrate through. And that is to just help with the tissue regeneration and to get the scar to heal nicely. So I use this on everybody else, and now I'm going to be using it on myself. Very, very cool. And then the last few things that I have are these very, very glamorous maternity pads. Obviously, even though I'm having a C-section, once baby's out, there will be bleeding, and this is just to help with that. Again, I don't know if that's given to the ladies in hospital, but I'd rather just have it in case it isn't, because that's definitely something I'm going to need. And then last but not least is what I'm bringing baby home with. So there will be a car seat ready and waiting in the car, but I will be wearing baby out of the hospital. So this is the Snuggle-Roo, and it is a material baby carrier. Those pieces go together. I actually have to Google how it works because I'm not 100% sure how everything fits together, and I know that there's a little bit of a learning curve with that as well, but I have also seen that there are YouTube videos that show you exactly how this one works. Also got this from a lady on Marketplace, so it didn't come with the box, which I'm sure would have instructions on it, but you know, YouTube is your friend. So that is all of my stuff that I'm taking with me in a nutshell. I hope that you ladies that are watching it have found this beneficial, and maybe it's given you some ideas of what to take with, or perhaps use one or two of the hacks that I've spoken about, like the packets. I think that's a really, really cool idea. But yeah, please, if you can think of anything else, you well-seasoned mommies, if you think that I'm missing something, then please leave a comment below for some advice, and I'll definitely read all of the comments and take the points from there. And if you're a first-time mom, if this has been a good video for you and you've managed to get some good tips, also leave a comment, just so that we can, you know, have a chat about it. As I said, it's so nice to have a mom community going where you can share all these really, really cool ideas, and it uplifts everybody, which is what the point of these videos are for. I hope you found this entertaining, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Take care. Bye bye.